Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Hub back into the video today, and today we're going to be talking about the Houston Texans potentially signing Xavien Howard. I would love for the Houston Texans to bring in Xavien Howard. Xavien Howard is one of many defensive players for the Miami Dolphins that I'd love for the Texans to potentially bring in. Christian Wilkins and Xavien Howard are two guys I'd love to see the Texans bring in. But let's talk about Xavien Howard. Xavien Howard, a four-time Pro Bowl and a one-time All-Pro, was cut by the Miami Dolphins in a very surprising roster cut. If you guys remember, in 2020, he had the amazing 10 interception season as an All-Pro in 2020 with the Miami Dolphins. In 2023, he did miss 4 games, and for the first time since 2020, he was not a Pro Bowler or an All-Pro. So this season in 2023, he had 13 games with 13 starts with 1 interception, 12 passes deflected, 45 tackles, and 1 tackle for loss. I would love for the Texans to bring him in. If you guys do not know, the starting cornerback number 2 for the Texans, Steven Nelson, obviously Derek Stingley Jr. is cornerback 1, but cornerback 2, Steven Nelson, is a free agent. It's going to be interesting to see if the Texans bring him back. But if they don't, I think Xavien Howard would be one of the best options for the Texans to potentially bring in, and I'd love to see them make a move like bringing Xavien Howard in. He's a guy I've had my eyes on with the Texans since going into the 2021 season, and the reason that is because of the Deshaun Watson rumors. When we had Deshaun Watson, if you guys remember, the Dolphins were very interested in Deshaun Watson, and one of the pieces that the Texans wanted was Xavien Howard. They really had interest in Xavien Howard. They also had interest in Tua Tagovailoa, of course. I think the Texans wanted for original talks with the Dolphins when the Texans wanted to give up Deshaun to the Dolphins. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Texans were gonna want Tua Tagovailoa, Xavien Howard, and a first-round pick for Deshaun, which I don't know if it's better than what we got, because we got 3 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks and other draft picks for him. I think I'd rather the draft picks, because the fact is that Tua's, look at the postseason he have, and we have C.J. Stroud now, and then also Xavien Howard ended up getting cut, and now we can get him now. But yeah, 2022 he was a Pro Bowler, 2021 he was a Pro Bowler, 2020 he was a Pro Bowler and an All-Pro with 10 interceptions with 77 yards returned on those 10 interceptions in 2020. 2018 he was a Pro Bowler. So I think he'd be a great guy to bring in if you're going to replace Steven Nelson. I think he's my favorite to replace Steven Nelson. Steven Nelson did a great job for the Houston Texans this past season. But the thing is he's kind of aging a little bit. I mean, he's still he's been in the league since 2015, but this past season with the Texans, Steven Nelson, 17 games, 16 starts, 4 interceptions, returned those for 33 yards. In the playoffs, he did have 1 interception, which he returned for 82 yards and a touchdown. On the year, he had 12 passes deflected with 63 tackles. So that was it for Steven Nelson this season. But he's a free agent. I think some teams will have interest, and also he's aging. Would Xavien Howard be a better option? He's a little bit younger, not a lot, but they've been in the league for about the same time. Howard's first year in the league was 2016, and Steven Nelson's first year in the league was 2015. Also, Xavien Howard, where was he born? Houston, Texas. And his birthday is also an interesting date. His birthday is July 4th. So he's 30, and then Steven Nelson, who was the Texans starter last year, is 32 or I think Steven Nelson's 32 or 33 or something like that. So Xavien Howard's a couple years younger. He's also a better corner as well. That's it. He's a lockdown corner, and if you guys remember how locked down he was in 2020, it was one of the reasons why the Dolphins were so good in 2020. Now, they were just short of the playoffs, but with a rookie quarterback, I think they went what did they go in 2020? I think they went 9-8 that year, or was that was before? I think they went 10-6. That was before the league went to 17 games, and they went 10-6, and they missed the playoffs. They were not in the playoffs with rookie Tua Tagovailoa, they went 10-6. They also had Tua and Fitzpatrick starting that year, but Xavien Howard was one of the bright spots of their team that year, and he's one of the big reasons why they went 10-6, alongside other reasons like Tua going off in his rookie year. Ryan Fitzpatrick did a great job too. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on the Houston Texans potentially signing Xavien Howard in the comment section, and peace out. Go Texans.